excuses. And I also forgot where the camera is. I got to flip this around. So, this is COVID and coffee. I didn't put it in the title because what happens is the YouTube algorithm or whatever the heck is going on, it seems like every time, and even saying COVID and coffee is probably going to be an issue. But it's going to be placed, it'll still be placed under the COVID and coffee playlists, these. But apparently what seems to be giving me a hard time is every time I actually label it COVID and coffee, it gets nailed right away. So there's actually a good comment right here. See, I wish I could share like these comments, but I can't. I don't know. There we go. All right. Oh, we've actually got people in here. We got What's in the Box. What's going on, guy? First, Scott Quick. What's going on, man? Buggies and Truggies. What's up? Wrenching on the Senton. Can't wait. Yeah. It's not going to be really, well, I mean, it is kind of wrenching, but not. Tucking the body down the way I did, I was being too mindless, meaning after I was at that speed jump spot, when I came back home, obviously there was a considerable amount of time that I had waited. I did feel a little bit beaten down. And that's normal. It's normal because you're thinking that there's going to be a positive effect. Thinking also in the back of my mind that there was going to be a couple of negative effects, which could be true, but I'm just unsure. I think in my theory, and this is always just going to be my theory, not the theories of others. In my theory, I got a couple of reasons or a couple of things rolling in my head to why it's going slower. Number one, the main reason is me being too quick to try to batten down the body, like to suck the body down, to stop the car from lifting. I essentially ruined the way this car was going. I also did a bunch of things that were hack. And it's because they have that meme. I ain't got no time for that. And I have so little patience that I just want to, sometimes you just get that feeling. I just want to get out there and just squeeze a trigger. I just want to just bury that throttle. It's kind of like the same thing, like, you know, driving certain vehicles. Sometimes you just have that need. Like you just want to just, they used to call it years ago, the terminology was like pedal to the metal. You know what I mean? The heck is that? What's in the box, dude? Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Senton Fund. Thank you. I definitely appreciate that, man. I don't know how much of a fund the Senton's going to need, though, because what's honestly happening is I believe I have given up on my, this thing. Whatever the heck this thing is. I believe I've given up on this. Who knows? Maybe I could just like cut the back off and fit the body to it or something. I don't know. It's obviously because that's the shorter chassis, but I've given up on the Vortex just because I really don't like the Vortex. You want to talk about a regret buy? That Vortex, like, I swear from day one, I regretted it. Like, I mean, even buying it, the fact that it's pink, it was just like, I could have chosen other colors, but I was just like, it's the color that shows up. So, and that's why I got it. And I really don't care about colors of most things. It doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, pink, purple, whatever. Like I said, I think I called it the bubble gum. I think I called it like the bubble gum. What it reminds me of is it reminds me of when you would go, like, as a younger individual, you'd go with your parents or your grandparents to the grocery stores or wherever you would go, and they would have those gumball machines, and they would have colors like that. And of course, 25 cents, 50 cents, depending upon, you know, what gumball you got. There'd be pink and purple gumballs the same color as that body. So I'm using that obviously as a parts car. The thing is effectively kind of almost brand new. Obviously, I'm using the tires and wheels, so it's got things on it that I like, but I guess that just truck isn't for me. Maybe I can use like the chassis for the Granite, because the Granite, I didn't get a Granite chassis. I got a couple of other parts, but because it's got so many parts that are shared with other things, maybe I can go ahead and kind of throw some stuff on here. Now, people that leave comments, keep them coming. Don't think I'm not listening. Just because I don't take your idea and immediately throw it onto the truck, that's not it. Because just like you discovered on your own the reason why something isn't working. And for me, because I'm a visual learner, reading doesn't work for me. But keep the comments coming, because it's not like I don't see them. I obviously read every dang comment that comes in, so keep them pouring in. The ideas are great because there are things that come through that people don't think about. I don't think about. So that is what I like about this community, is the fact that everybody normally, with the exception of one individual right now, is normally helpful, which is great. The body, I was thinking to myself, it would self-clearance. There's a bunch of things that went on with this thing. And when you put it all together, you realize that I'm acting too quick on some things. I'm not checking some things. I'm being, is it hasteful? I think the word is hasteful. That might be a big word. I'm thinking I do have to trim the body, but should I have to? No, because as long as I don't tuck the body down and in. So what had happened is when, I'm just going to switch it around. So when this body, and this is going to be probably a boring episode, but initially, the reason why I've got the pipe foam on here, front, back, shock towers, everything, was to protect the car. Because this Senton was such an awesome truck, I was realizing that, you know, if I just put a little bit of body foam, if I put a little bit of foam there, put a little bit of foam here, it will help the impacts. And that's initially what I was going after. Now that I'm going after speed, the impacts are still there, but I'm not doing it like to thrash. I'm trying to attain a certain speed. So maybe if I take away this front foam, which initially, and I'm going to cut these zip ties just to show you what my mindset is. So get some body physics here. So initially my mindset was to be able to tuck the body down. Oh, just ruin that foam. I mean, I got mindset was now that you can see, right? So now where the bumper, or where should I say, where the body was before was right here. So what I had done is I had taken it and look at how, let me put the body pins in real quick just to show you. And this is the part that I honestly missed it. I'm not gonna, you know, claim fame. I'm no hero. I'm learning myself here. There's certain things that, you know, you got to take the time. You got to take the patience. And I'm just going to throw, like I said, I'm just going to throw the body clips in so it doesn't move from its position. But my initial thought was, all right, so, and this is, I was being one-sided or one direction. I had blinders on. So what I mean by I had blinders on, I've used this term in the past with my employees, right? Was that a lot of times when you got blinders on, take the glass off, when you got blinders on, blinders are for horses, right? And what it is that it forces the horse to tunnel vision. which in some cases is actually a really good thing to do because it makes you focus on what's in front of you. The problem is my tunnel vision caused me to not be able to see the other stuff that squishing that body down was doing. So while I was, in my mind, while I thought out, and I can't see right now. This is so bad, man. I need laser eye surgery or something because I hate glasses. So when I was tucking the body down, what I wasn't paying attention to is exactly this. So when I tuck the body down, something like this. I think I need to clean up the back camera. I can't tell if it's fuzzy or not. And this was a total miss by me. This is where it was before. So when the wheel would compress, it would hit here. It was hitting in this location. I think it was actually a little bit further back, something like that. So when this would compress, and it seems as though the wind wasn't enough to compress it too much to where the tire was going into the wheel well opening. But I could definitely hear that at times it was hitting, but it was very minimal. Now, when I took the zip ties and jammed them on the front and went like this, then that was enough to see how the distance, like see how much that tire is colliding with the body. So it was enough to where I tucked it down like this. As the car is going, the wind is pushing down on every part of that and pushing the tires up in. And the faster and faster it went, the harder and harder it was pushing, literally to the point of where, I'll show you on the body now. I think it's completely unzip tied. It was pushing it down so hard that it started to rub through I mean, we're down to clear Lexan right here. It was rubbing so bad. So, and I know that the easy thing to do would be to get rid of the body and try something else. But in my mind, if I do that, and again, this is just for me, in my mind, I am giving up if I, come on, camera. I feel like I'm giving up if I do that. If I take the body and swap it out, it then does not say Senton on it anymore. It's then no longer a Senton. It's no longer a short, well, I mean, it's still in my mind considered a short course truck. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a total mind game thing with me. So what I do want to do is I want to provide a little bit of clearance, but I also want to kind of re-look at this front end and see if there's something that I can do. And I actually have an idea, which could be it could be a bad idea, but then it could be an all right idea. And what it is if I get rid of that foam, it's going to relax that front end a little bit. If I get, and I've obviously, because I'm looking at the car right now. Yeah, let me spin it around. So my thought is getting rid of the foam, obviously, that's number one. Get rid of the foam. Step two would be the way I'm seeing inside of this wheel well opening. Step two would be to actually get rid of this piece right here. If I get rid of this piece right here, right, it does get rid of that kind of like shock, bumper kind of protection. But if I take this and I zip tie it to the front of the body somehow, whether if it's inside or outside, I think it would have to be inside. We'd have to see how it, fits inside the body here, because there's definitely plenty of room to go ahead and do that here. Then I can have this kind of tucked in. I can have the body come down a little bit. And maybe because of that, I won't be squishing. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, what it was doing was it was point blank squishing the body down and in. So I'm thinking that's possibly the route that I'm going to go. And I am going to jump into the comments right now just to say hello and see if anybody else has other ideas. Now, other people were saying, forget who said it. I'm so bad with names, man. I'm sorry. I did actually screenshot it. So when ideas that I see, if I go ahead and use something that is similar to that idea, what I'll do is I'll post that idea like in the video. So if somebody posts like an idea that seems to obviously make sense and I, agree and think it's going to work, if I use that, I'll post that in there. At least I think I will. I don't know, man. I tell you, I screenshot so much stuff that I lose the screenshots. Like I'll go into my phone and I'll clean stuff out and everything's gone. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. I may even, because here's the other thing, right? We're always talking about parachuting with these bodies. So the thought is potentially whatever wind is getting in there. What if I just go ahead and cut out the louvers? Like these triangles that are right here. If I cut those out, will it allow some of the air that is getting in here out? You know what I'm saying? Like just these triangles right here, just buzz them right out. That way I still have some rigidity to the body. Do you know what I mean? That's another thing that I'm kind of like thinking, just hug those triangles and just cut the triangles out. That's it. Just these louvered sections. I'm thinking maybe that's something that would work or help or something. I don't know. I also thought, while we're here on the rear end here, I also thought, should I take the rear foam out? Because if I take the rear foam out, that would aid in the wind coming back. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like what I've done as a basher, this is a great idea. I definitely 100% recommend doing the plumber's pipe foam if you're going to bash this thing, because it 100% does help with protection. But in this situation, we're really not bashing it anymore. So popping this off might actually be a good idea. And what I might do is just leave these little end pieces. So cut this foam off, but just leave these little end pieces. So at least the body kind of still has maybe something, or maybe I should just cut those off. I don't know, man. Maybe I should, yeah. See, that was the whole point was, yeah, they're kind of doing nothing now, huh? Yeah, you know what? That just made a decision. I'm just going to jump into the thing here. All right, so we've got... switch it back on myself here. And that cough is not anything. I've had that cough like for years. It's just something I do. I don't know if it's like a habit now. It feels like my lungs are filling up with fluid. Jason, what's going on, guys? So let's see. Just so I can catch up in the comments. We've got what's in the box, dude. Thank you again for that super chat. Let's see. Garage Life, what's going on, guy? Hope you're doing well. Michigan Dirt, what's going on? Throttle therapy, gotta have it. Right? Stoned, guy, you need to get rid of those crawlers in the background. You're gonna give people the wrong impression. Yeah, you know what's funny, man? That thing has never seen a battery pack. I got that thing on pre-order, and I was just like, ooh. Yeah, and I think if I remember correctly, I think I do remember correctly, my first video on that of a what's in the box was only made so I could rip the receiver out of the box and use the transmitter. So I bought that whole dang thing just for the receiver. I don't know. Oh man, just crawlers. Initially, crawlers were cool, and that was because my dog died and it gave me something to do that was different from the norm. Let's see. Sergeant, what's going on, guy? Emily, what's going on, guy? Coy Lewis, what's going on, man? Same thing to you. Thumbs up, man. Let's see. Mir, what's going on, man? Just got the purple body and put on your granite. Nice, man. Yep. Jeremy Thornton. Right. Dude, thank you. Yep. Same thing to you. Let's see. Overzealous. Sergeant J, that's a very good, if you're talking about me, you're absolutely right. It's a very good explanation for that. Robert Gibson. Let's see. Jason, I think I said that. We got Mama Ferret. What's going on, guy? Underdog achieved. Oh, the foam. Yeah, I think you're on the same page. Just getting rid of the foam, man. Rec Creation. What's going on, guy? Let's see. Tim Leeton. What's going on, guy? Hey, appreciate that, man. First time on a live. There's actually a ton of lives. They can get kind of tough to watch because usually the lives are great for the lives, but sometimes there's stuff sometimes in lives that I wish I could have like made into a video, because some of the things like seem to like make sense and actually work, and nobody finds them because they're buried in a live. Get out the curved Lexenses is right. Yep. Michael Cowell. Maybe some added weight would help. Yeah. So the thing is that maybe eventually, but it shouldn't need it. I'm counting on the wind resistance, that downforce in the front, just basically from the windshield. I'm trying to count on that to just push it down. So I've got really weak shocks up front. I have Traxxas / takeoffs that Earl had sent me in a care package that I decided to use for this. And the reason why was because what I thought was to have a shock that could compress to a point. Then I realized that it was too long. So then this thing is so hack, man. I've got to almost start off from square -1 in a way. But I've got weak shocks in the front. My thought was it would allow it to compress down, but then right now it's possibly compressing too much, which I can limit that by putting the fuel tubing in there and stopping that compression to a point to where, and this is a good time probably to do that, because once I take that little 5-mile-per-hour bumper off of the front there and just take the actual bumper and slide it in and back, what I'm hoping is that will cure or solve some of the issue that I've got. Having that pipe foam still on there, zip tie cranking it down it looked good. You know what I mean? Like it looked good with the horse blinders on, but I should have looked at it from the side. If I looked at it from the side and really paid attention, I probably would have got a good speed last night, because that's what that video was. I don't know, man. All right, so we've got what bodies fit the Senton? Right. You can get bug bodies, which are kind of good, I guess. I did that and cut some of the windshield out, and it didn't. Yeah. So my thought is if you cut any of the windshield out, what you're doing is you want the wind that's going into the wheel wells and underneath the truck that's kind of coming up. You want that wind to be able to go out back. So my thought is to make those little triangle cuts in the back. That way, whatever wind that's coming in is hopefully gonna try it, man. I know where I'm at right now, and I know what I did wrong. So if I correct what I did wrong, which is all of it, if I correct what I did wrong, because I put Traxxas shocks on here, that's part of it. I got Traxxas shocks up front. I got Red Cat shocks on the rear. Like this is a mongrel right now. Get rid of the foam that I put on the back. I don't need that protection really anymore. the body's getting so trashed. Frank Sluga, what's going on, guy? Speed Demons, right? Recreation. If you want less lift from wind, you got to somehow vent. Yes. Yes, exactly. I'm still going to keep the bug body right. I'm still going to keep this body just because I'm probably way behind on the chop the roof, re-weld it down. Nearsighted. What's going on, guy? Some well-placed pieces of Gorilla Tape can really help with air. Yes. That is actually another thought that I had too. I thought about almost encapsulating the front end with actually Lexan and some NASCAR approved speed tape. That was definitely is a good idea. So your comment, if I use that idea, that comment may go in there, guy. Guy, what taillights, right? Right now they're just wing flaps. It's almost like they're, I don't know, I couldn't call them air brakes, but once the thing is moving, those pieces probably just flip right out. Breathe, bro. Midnight Prowler, what's going on? From the UK, man. I still think it's crazy. I'm getting more used to it. You know, when people from a long distance, man. How about making the Senton speed a cruise Senton? No, get out of here, guy. Cruise Senton. What? And then put mall crawlers on it? No, sir. Air dam to reduce lift. Yes, I definitely see that, but I don't think I'm going to need it. I think at that point in time, it's getting too crazy because I don't want to take, and this might be foolish, but I don't want to take too much of the Senton out of it. But that is I get that, you know, an air dam down low to kind of keep it. Yeah, but what the heck air dam and how would I attach it? You know, I'd have to like bolt it with like U-bolts. Get titanium U-bolts, and that way it like sends out some nice sparks. I've watched loads of things over here in UK. I'm normal at work, so glad off today to catch this. Stiffen up your rear suspension. Seem to help stop from lifting. Yes. And then my rear suspension is super stiff. Rubber tubing on the shocks. Yes, exactly. The rubber tubing thing on the shocks. Yep, to limit. And if you've watched Earl Moorhead, he shows you how to do the rubber tubing on the inside to do in a better way what I did in a hack way. So what I did in a hack way to limit my front suspension, this is what I've done. So, and this is total hack. What I did is I just took an insulation rod, brought it straight across and hooked up the ends and put it kind of like zip tied underneath the shocks. And what that did is it limited the shocks from traveling down. So that, and again, like I said, I've got sometimes, especially, and I don't know what it is. It's not across the board. It's weird. When it comes to work-related things, I don't cut corners like on work-related stuff. But when it comes to my own stuff, I cut all the corners. Like, I mean, there's no corners. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I put so much into, you know, the work that I do that I don't, when it comes to my own stuff, I just don't, you know what I mean? It's like, I ain't got time for that. You know, I just, and it does cause me to have some issues, but it is what it is, man. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start breaking this thing down. That body doesn't have very good arrows to begin with. Aerodynamics, I think you meant. Right. Add weight up front, right. Now I have flashbacks of 7 in my head. What's in the box? Let's see. You know who's fast? Tom Cruise. That guy can fly. Yep. All right. So, what was that? You made a circle. Right. Made a circle. All right. So, I'm going to go ahead and just start taking off or reverting this thing and kind of starting over, not really new, but getting rid of some of the stuff that I've done Because honestly, I've realized I got to the point to where I did get an honest, and I'm going to say that's an honest 67. Some people may say, no, it's not because you did kind of tumble, but I'm sorry. Even I had 66 several times, and that was on an incline. And then to get to see how the suspension dropped. All this is an insulation rod that I turned into just a limiter. And it actually did work pretty good, man. So I might keep this. I might keep this little handlebar mustache thing here. So these shock, and the reason why I didn't take the shocks all apart and all this other stuff, man, was just, it takes too much time. The other thing I'm realizing, and I don't know if you can see this. Let's see if I could show you. So this is actually level right now. And it may look like the suspension arm is being hung up. Like, see how the bumper is level? So look at the bumper in relation to the angle of the arms and the height of the tires. You know why that is, right? So on one side, that says, where is it? It does say RPM right there. On that side, it says Arrma. So I have one wing, which is that side, which is RPM. What I should do is switch it out to the hole that's out there. The funny thing is that right now the shock angle, where can I get this? The shock angle is exactly the same. But because I'm not using the outer hole, that one right there, because I'm not using the outer hole, it's actually caused the suspension to come down further. So it's those little things that I notice when I'm doing it that I just don't care. And I should. I really should, because it does cause problems. So what I am looking for is I'm looking for this and my driver bits, which are right here, I hope. I'm going to pop off. I'm going to pop this off, and I am going to, see, I'm saying I should do this right, but here I am. I'm going to do it wrong by doing this. Oh, that thing is bent. That thing is mangled. I'm going to toss it in the outer hole just for now, just to get a visual, just to see if I'm right on that angle. Because I think I am. I think this outer hole. Now, see, this shock is definitely laid out further, but what that did is it seems to have made the arms at the same angle. So do I go ahead and change out that arm? Nah, we don't do that here. All right, so I'm not going to bother doing that. I do need to limit these shocks. Maybe I should. See, I'm going to need to limit it this way too, though. It's going to throw stuff off, man. And I'm not sure where the other RPM arm is. It's a very quick little fix, but no drop screws, Frank. Rainy day repairs. What a horrible day today. So, get rid of this whole thing. I mean, this could be a bad idea, but it can still be a flip-top Senton by getting rid of that. That might work. Remember, if anybody tries to say something to me, just do the little RC Guy Garage. And that way I can actually see that somebody's trying to say something. I got to get rid of that foam in the front. This idea did work for, like I said, it worked really well for what I initially intended it for. Just to protect it as a bash vehicle. You can see I got some of that NASCAR approved tape already on there. So if I'm to take that and tuck it like that, do I bring it in front? Or could I bring it behind? So I'm going to go ahead and just throw these clips back in here. So what I'm doing is I'm counting on things still doing their job, but if I connect this little front bumper flap piece here, if I do connect that down to the body, let's put on the back pins. Yeah, I'm wondering if removing that foam in the back is a good idea or not. Yeah, I think that might be something. So this time, what I should do is I should set the car down on the ground. So there's a couple of things that happen when I do this. So when I tilt the body down, can I adjust that shock tower down further? I think I can adjust. Yeah, I don't know if I can or not. See if the shock tower will go down any further. So what was happening is when I'm pushing the body down in the front, the section of the rear section of the fender, because of how everything is connected, the rear section of the fender well starts pulling in, which causes conflict there. So, and again, I didn't pay attention to that last time. So, can this go down any further? Kind of seems like it can't. So it looks like it was on its last hole. What's going on there? Oh no, it should actually, it looks like it should be able to go down. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Okay. Looks like it did go down. Yeah, I think the posts are too long to drill it out. So there actually was, I could slam it down that one extra hole. You know what I wonder? Do these holes go all the way through? Like, did I just open up the diff to getting contaminants in there? Can't tell. I wonder if those holes go all the way through to the diff. I might have to put these screws back in just in case. Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell if those holes go all the way through or not. Hey, they do. Oh my God. All right. I guess that's how you can go ahead and put extra grease in there. Wow. It was literally hitting the gear. Going in that way. All right. So those definitely do go all the way through. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and block those up. Look at that, something I noticed, huh? Looks like we're on a winning streak right now. All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just put short screws in there because it doesn't make any sense to put any big screws in. And I usually use these cheap gold screws just to fill stuff like this. Give it a touch of class. Touch of class. Nothing classy about a Senton. All right. Here we go. So we fixed issue number 1. Now issue number 2 would be I do need to limit this. I do not like the idea that I've got a different arm on that side. It is changing the shock angle. It is at the same arc, or pretty close enough to where I can't tell. Yeah, I might have to, huh? Let's see. I can't remember where my bag of parts went. I had a bag of parts here. Oh, I was looking for that. I had, when I was working on this before, I had some RPM stuff. Granite Vortex rear. What is this one? Granite Vortex rear. Why do I have 2 sets of Vortex rears? Ah, is this it? Is that the one? No, that don't look right. I think that's a rear. It can't be right, is it? No, that ain't right. I don't know what the heck this is for. Look how far out the shocks would be. What the heck is this for? Ah, that must be for the big rock. Ah, here we go. Here we go. That's the other arm. All right, so I am going to go ahead and I'm going to install this arm just because it seems like that would be maybe the right thing to do at this point in time. Let's see. Take the wheel off. The other thing, too, that I noticed, running these wheels is great, but they are extremely weak. So while maybe the rim itself is okay, what you need to get I've realized is you need to get these right here, which this is just a, I think it's called an M20 or M22. This is a 12 millimeter washer. Now, you don't have to obviously have the hole so big in the middle, but what it does is it goes inside of this hole right here. This hole is just over 12 millimeters or something like that. But the washer will go inside. This is actually not a 12, but it's close enough. It'll go inside and give your little knurled wheel nut, it'll give it something more to hold on to as far as making full use of grabbing a hold of that cheap, very, very flexible plastic. So this is the wheel. Yeah, this is the wheel that got really mangled. So if you look inside there, you can see this is the one that got severely mangled. And what I did is I heated up the backside with the hex inside, and I was able to massage that back down in with a hammer and reform kind of that plastic while it was still hot. But yeah, these washers, I think, are a must with these wheels, just because I think it will help prolong the life of that kind of hold down area. And maybe one thing that you can use. So, all right, let's see. All right, so now I just want to pop this apart. This I won't be using. Pop this. Where's the pin? Pin goes this way. Let's see. And then I need to flip that to go ahead and be able to take this piece off. All the dirt and junk that just flew out of there. That's awesome. So just go after these two screws. Yeah, isn't that a surprise? Slayer, an Arrma on the workbench getting repairs? No way. You notice this Arrma's got Traxxas front shocks? Traxxas front shocks and Red Cat rear. Now, there's nothing obviously wrong with the front arm that I'm putting on here, except for the fact that it's just changed. It changed the angle of the shock. And I honestly, I should take it like the whole way. And oh man, these pins are tough to grab, man. Realize if you take a needle nose, go like this, you can grab the pin. So again, there's nothing wrong with this Arrma one. It's just the fact that the RPM that I replaced it with puts the position of the shock further out, changing the way the shock works. So this is now going to go in its place. There we go. Boy, is that mangled. Now, that should work. Now it's got this screw right there. Right there. I'm gonna pop out, and it's a stupid Phillips screw. It's one weird thing sometimes about some the RPM junk. Why are you using a Phillips? Nobody uses Phillips anymore. It's old tech. We ain't gonna have no bloodbath here. Gone, I hope, are those days. All right. So that's better. A little sticky. I guess that's the way most RPM junk is. So, all right. So now at least that shock will be at the same angle as the other one. The other thing too, though, is that at this point in time, I'm gonna just check a couple things here. So while these Traxxas shocks were great for what they did, I do not want to have to, gone forever. I do not want to have to limit the shocks. Do you know what I mean? Because limiting them is going to be going internally, and I just don't feel like doing that. So what I need is a shock that is going to kind of keep that front end flat, is what I think I've come up with. But just throw the wheel on. Throw the wheel on, and I'm going to attach the body. Did the wheel nut go? I'm going to throw the body on, because that's kind of why I'm doing some of this. Don't ever say I don't clean stuff. Look at this. I'm cleaning. See? It's all clean. So this plate can go back on. How did I lose that screw? How did I lose? There it is. All right. So I kind of wanted it like that. But put the body back on and at least get my eyes on where potentially this can sit. So that's pretty much where that needs to be. And again, this could be a complete waste of time for me, but I'm all right with that. It's going to teach me whether if I'm doing something wrong or doing something right. I'm definitely cutting those triangles out of the body, though. That's already a decision I've made. I'm cutting these triangles out. Definitely going to get rid of that foam in the back all the way. I may still, I think I'll leave the pipe foam that's on the shock tower there. You know what I mean? I think I'll leave that there. So what my intent is to possibly take that bumper and stuff it that way. And it's still sucking that in. So let's sit the truck down on the table here. Get a different view. Make some room. So you can see how much longer these shocks are. See what I did? Traxxas. I put fuel tubing in. I didn't have balls to go in there. So I put fuel tubing in there. Worked. Total hack, but man, I tell you, not everything has to be perfect. Sometimes hack is fine. Do have these other shocks. They are significantly shorter. This one actually is supposed to be kept upright. So I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work. But I could try these potentially. I think someone was saying put in Typhon shocks or something. I just don't want to strip too many cars to where I've got, you know, all my cars are in pieces. So I'm going to go down with this one. And what I should do is somehow position the truck to kind of where I want it as far as a ride height. Put something underneath so that I can see, because that's basically flat where that is. That's kind of what I want. So whatever that distance is, look like it might be a battery pack. Yeah, so something like that. So that seems, without the camera being in my way too much, that seems to be the distance that I want. So now what I would have to do is just mess around with this and not collapse the body too much. Hey, sweetie.
I'm just gonna, I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Love you. All right. So if I take that and bring it down, it's still sucking in the sides though. God, why are the dogs wigging out? The dogs are wigging out because my daughter is leaving to go to the store. All right. See, this is all the waste of time stuff where, you know, I say, you know, why does anybody want to watch this stuff? Because it's going to be here, me sitting here hours vacillating over what I should do. I think I need to get rid of that edge. There's like a edge. It's like a little air dam. I think I need to get rid of that edge. Because if I tuck it down like that, that's actually not too bad. If I did it like that. Because I intend to cut these edges anyway. So like where this section is right here. Chris Watton, what's going on, guy? What'd you say? Think long, think wrong. So what I'm thinking is if I tuck that down like that, that's going to do two things. I feel it's going to be able to, wind is hopefully going to be able to push down on here and also use the windshield to push down. And this was my original intent. It's just this is the issue. So I'm not sure if I'll have to cut into there and get rid of that whole section. I mean, that's like nothing for shock travel. See if I did. I think that's actually how I had it tucked. Look at that. Jeez, I wonder. Would that be such a bad thing? That might not be a bad thing right there. Because if I'm going to cut that anyway. So that's where it sits normally. Bam! Holy crap. That almost is like putting a bug body on it. I think I'm going to try this right here. If I do that. I think I'm going to give that a shot. Oh, somebody said something. Saw somebody said something. Super Drake, what's going on, guy? Senton, you are right. Dude, you should have seen like what happened. Yeah. All right. I think I am going to go that route right there. And I might be able to use a heat gun to relax the plastic a little bit. Because that's lining up with those holes right there. Right there and there. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to go ahead and... Because that is coming right to that section right there. I think it is. You can see right through the inside. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to bore 2 holes in the top. Leave those holes there. Right now, that top part of the bumper is riding right there. So I'm going to go ahead and try that. Just get a body reamer. And just make a couple of holes right there. Making the Senton look fun. It's all fun. If you really think about it, man, all of this it is designed to be fun. And anything that you do can always be reversed. Meaning, just buy new parts. Anything you do can just be reversed. Just by buying new stuff. All right. That seems possible. So, let's grab some zippy ties. These ones are too small. And these are the same thickness. So I want to actually come this way. So I want to come in through this way. Go around like that. Bench that doesn't have enough room. God, this body is definitely mangled. All right. So now, just go ahead and go in and crank these zip ties down. Now, the other thing I may do is zip tie to this part as well. So doing just that is great. And obviously what it did definitely sucked the tires in, but like I said, I'm gonna cut this section out of here anyway. But I was thinking, wonder if I need to do anything here. Seems like I almost don't have to. But definitely need to go ahead and slice up this stuff here. So I'm going to go ahead and just get the scissors out and start cutting. Get the curved ones it's going to work. Still get a conflict that way, but I would be off power then. So, and if I'm off power, theoretically, the front end would lift back up from being under power this way, which I do need to clearance this just a little bit more for that. So off power, I'm trying to actually, that's where I'm going to be settled. Yeah, let's cut the other side. I am not a left-handed individual. Holy smokes. This could go bad. It's already going bad. Yeah. Oh, my man, I'm hacking that. Guess I'm going to go ahead and go this way. All right. I think Martin Korf, man, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Is that for the Senton Sympathy Fund? The Senton Sympathy Fund. Definitely appreciate that, man. Thank you. All right. It's funny, this section of the body. Why is this section of the body seems to be tweaked in a little bit? I wonder if I should just get rid of that. Yeah. Excuse me. Still hits, but yeah, it almost seems like I'm gonna have to cut the whole front end off. All right. That is a little better. But see how this end, why does that end seem like it's sucked in further? See what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you can see it, but this end is definitely tucked in more. Why is that? Oh, it could be that the zip tie is not down enough on that side. Ha ha ha. That might be it. Does it still flip top? Yes, it does. All right. May have to align that a little bit better. Ah, see, it won't flip top. Kind of semi flip tops because that piece is not fully connected. Might need to just use some heat or something. I don't think the back is messed up at all. Back is there. I need to round that wheel well a little bit better than what it is. It's a little flat right there. So if I just round this wheel well a little bit better than that. I need to sit down for this. See, I'll follow this and bring it up into the fender, the top of the fender. See if that'll work. Is a little better. Just visually looks better. Still a little bit too much here, I think. A full lock definitely hits. I don't think heating that up is going to help. Almost feel like I need to get rid of this section here. Yeah, see? If I get rid of this section here, that's full lock. I shouldn't be concerned with that. That's not too bad. Might see how it fits the tire now. Fits the tire, and that might be the ticket for that. So I'm just going to do the similar thing on the other side. Try to mimic what I did here. Almost has like that pre-runner look now. So this ought to be fun. I came up a good amount. looks like it needs a little bit. Go a little bit there, I think. No, that's actually the same. I think it's hitting at the same time right now. Yep. Pretty close. All right. So I'm going to want it to squat like that. Which is that battery pack. So what this should tell me is what I want for shock travel. So flip that out of the way. And I'm going to get my driver and pop that off. If I use the right driver, that always helps. So I do think I'm happy with that. So that's the least amount of downward travel that I want, which is good because it's keeping those axles fairly straight. Now, as it pushes forward, what I should have done is I should have measured that. As it pushes forward, I only want a minimal amount of travel. And that is going to require doing that Earl Moorhead thing. And like I said, you give credit to where credit's due. That's where I saw it. Limiting the shocks on the inside. So right now, damn, that is so close. If I just had a shock that was slightly shorter. This is the original. So this piece had broken off. Let's see. How many? What's this? These shocks were too short. Yeah, these ones are way too short. Okay. Oh, not the Senton, the other thing there. The other piece of garbage. This thing. I think these shocks are way too short. But if I change the tower out to the Vortex tower, no wonder. Ah, the Vortex tower is cracked. Never mind. Because the Vortex shocks are how long? Vortex shocks are that long, which is definitely not long enough. Boy, that's so close. Yeah, that don't work. Yeah, see, the Vortex shocks are literally from that point to there, and that is too short because that would bring it in way too high to where I'm looking. I should just install solid rods. Who needs front suspension? Install solid rods. Forget shocks. Use the tires as the shocks. And the rear shocks are too long. These are just too long. So what I can do is I can open this up, get rid of the shock fluid, and then basically make this shock limited on the inside. And I'd have to limit it. Damn, a good amount too. So going like that, I've got to limit that thing. How much? So basically what I'd be limiting it is from this end to the middle of the valley here. So cut some fuel tubing to go on the inside for that. That's what would work. Oops. Ah, it goes all my batteries. Nice. Now we don't need no batteries charging. Yeah, I should do. I'm gonna go check something. Someone had mentioned that the Typhon, I think they said the Typhon front shocks would do what I need. So I got my Typhon. I'm just going to pop off a shock right now. So I'm going to pop off one of these shocks right now just to see if that's going to work. Won't take much to pop a shock off. Don't need to go all the way with that. So, and I just got to get a driver on that. What size driver is that? It's not that. It's too big. Course. So, oops, great. All right. So let's see, is a Typhon shock going to do what I'm looking for? Nah, that's too low. Nope. It looked like it was shorter. What did I do with the Traxxas shock? So the Typhon shock is slightly shorter than the Traxxas shock by not by enough though. Because how much is that going to bring? That's going to bring that up too much, I think. Or maybe I should try it. I should just try it. See what happens. See, these ones already have fuel tubing installed on them. It definitely, you know what? I'm going to give that a shot. Why not? Less work. Less work and more cars apart. It's always better. Now we have a Typhon going up for sale. Parts car. Where's this screw from? I don't remember what that screw's from. Whatever. All right. Oh. No, it's not. I don't know what that is. Alright, so what I do want to do is I do want to put some fuel tubing inside of these just to kind of, just to kind of, whatever. Where'd the tracks of the shot go again? Did I lose it? There it is. So see if this will fit inside of that, just to take up the gap, and it doesn't. So I do have smaller gauge fuel tubing somewhere here. So this to go inside of there. Then the screw is going to be too small. No, it won't. That'll be all right. Where are my nippers? I got too many parts cars now. Snippet things went, so this is going to be guesswork. And to try to get that to actually go inside of there is probably going to be a joke. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. I'll probably lose my mind trying to do this. Yeah, right, guy. What are you thinking, man? Here we go. Come on, you serious? Get out of there. on. Of course it had to go in there. Doesn't feel like it's fitting. Let's see. Ugh. Don't I have any in between fuel line? I don't think I do. That ain't gonna work, is it? So I'm trying to do now is stuff that in there. That ain't gonna go. It almost seems like the shock isn't gonna fit anyway. Yeah. That's super loose. Here goes the trickery. Can I remove this without moving it? No, didn't really work. Yeah, it's a little high. Let's just see what we're looking at. This doesn't seem like it's that much taller. It is taller, but it doesn't seem like it's a huge difference. Still would need to limit those though. But maybe if I crank them down enough, maybe it would have enough. It is high though. Yeah. It's higher than I wanted by a significant amount. Need like limiting straps. I really don't feel like blowing these things apart. See, that's the laziness in me, man. I just want to rip it. Well, the only way to see if any of this is going to work is to try it. Yeah, it's too high. Way too high. Thing is in the sky right now. Crap. All right, let's body ream something here. Oh, I don't remember what that long screw was. It was for this. Oh, how quickly I forget. So it's still a flip top. So it's still a flip top. Might just have to give this a try, just to see what happens. At least maybe I could put on enough spring tension so that it won't collapse into the body. That thing does look like it's skyrocketed though now. Ah, that does look like it's skyrocketed though. It looks like it's way too high. It just looks like a pre-run now. That's pretty tight. Oh, wait a minute. What the heck was it sitting on? Oh, it's sitting on the batteries. I suppose the only thing to do would be literally just to try it. Just to see what happens. Use the spring tension. Use the spring tension just to maybe, you know what I'm saying? Use the sprinction or the sprinction. The hell is sprinction? Use the come on, over. Use just the tension of the springs. So obviously as the springs compress, they get increasingly more energy or tension in them. So maybe what I can do is, because now these are kind of like adjustable front shocks, if I'm noticing that during speed, if the nose is kind of coming down too much, maybe I could counteract that with just increasing just a little bit of tension. And that way I can overcome, hopefully, the downforce that this has. This does have a rake. So there's a significant amount of, if you look at it this way, take you off the tripod here. If you look at it this way, there's definitely now, it's instead of this being flat, now this section of hood is down. See what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like it flows maybe better. I say I'm just going to try it. I'm all for, like I said, man, for when it's for me, I'm all for the lazy way, man. I am. Hack and slash, easy, just get it done and see if it works. I think it's crappy weather out. But this is a water resistant Senton, right? Speed jump spot. I don't know what the speed jump spot's like. Maybe in front of my house. See if I can get that 67 again. The only thing, though, is significant loss of traction. That's going to be a big one with a wet road, because the road is like literally saturated right now. There's a significant loss of traction. The speed jump spot, there's probably a puddle there. So that dip, I don't know if you've noticed, but from when I first started going to that speed jump spot to now, there's a significant dip at that speed jump spot. So that impression is getting deeper and deeper. And what I think it probably was is it may have been a buried stump. In the contracting world, you're not supposed to bury stumps. You are supposed to remove them. Because 10 to 15 years later, what happens is to that buried stump is that it rots and turns into peat and then eventually just caves in. So, yeah, I have a feeling that that's what's going on over there. And like I said, man, I am all about sometimes just having fun. The seriousness of me is when I'm working. That's different. When I'm doing a job, you still get the laughing, joking guy. But when it comes to this, there's so much less seriousness. I don't need to put seriousness into this. This is supposed to provide smiles for miles. Work is also supposed to provide, that was a tongue twister. Work is also supposed to provide a certain amount of smiles. If you're not happy doing what you do for work, man, it can definitely make those days drawn out and miserable. We're going to give this a shot. I totally went into this like, yeah, we're going to adjust shocks. I'm going to limit stuff. I'm going to blow things apart, to then just the laziness of, you know what? Someone said, throw Typhon. I think they said Typhon, not Talion. I think they said Typhon shocks. So they're in. So if I can find that comment, I don't think I screenshotted that one. Whoever you are, if I can find your, comment, I'll credit you for this right here. You get the credit. I'll get the credit for driving. but you'll get the credit for the idea of throwing the shocks on here. That's like I said, it's only fair. I take the credit for nosing down the body, though. It's still a flip top. I see the possibility of... There's not going to be any slower times. There's no way there's going to be slower times. If there's slower times, I just quit. So what I was trying to say originally, so the video that I released today, so I think I don't even know what time it was that I released a video. But this morning, I released the second part to this particular deal, which it's actually probably like part 5, but I called it part 2. Joe, normally that would go, but you can't because of the wording. And I get what you're saying, man. Trust me. It's just like on my channel, I just try to keep it, try to keep it level-headed. But yes, I do agree with you. Definitely send it. That's definitely what's going to happen. Yeah, just to see what happens. But I'm not done, though. I should take that... probably should take that foam off on the back so I can maximize my chances here, because the foam is still on the back here. So I should probably take this foam off here. You know what? Is that foam really doing anything right now? The foam is kind of... I don't know if I should take that foam off. All right, right now, how many people we got? 36 people. Take the foam off or leave it on. Just say off or on. Whoever wins out for the amount of offs and ons, I'll either take the foam off or I'll leave it on. RC Eskimo, let's go try it. All right, so Joe, you say I should leave it on. Are you feeling the same thing that I am, that it's kind of stopping the body from collapsing down? Because that's what I'm seeing, is that it's kind of stopping the body from collapsing down. Jason, off. What's in the box? Leave it on. Joe, yeah, okay. Frank Sluga, you don't care. So you could say that as I don't know or I don't care. That and mudguards off. Mudguards? What mudguards? Eskimo. What mudguards you talking about? What do you mean? Mudguards. Oh, look at that. What the heck's going on there? Oh, wow. Wait a minute. I just noticed something. Good thing this thing is still a flip top. I do like the idea of the flip top still, though. My whole wheelie bar action is all jacked up here. What the heck happened there? How did that crash that bad that it did that? Wow. Let's see. Mudguards off. The invisible ones, right. Take off at the spot. Martin, you're saying on. The front mudguards don't come out. Oh, you're talking about these. Oh, dude. Sorry, I had no idea what you were talking about. Yeah, these do come off. Yeah, to at least maybe get rid of these little winglets. Is that what you're talking about? Just these little end pieces? Yeah, it's done definitely some good cartwheels. It absolutely has, man. All right, I'm just going to pop this screw out right here. Just to see if I can get that piece to pop back in. I didn't even realize that that came apart. Wow, how did that come apart, man? That's way in there. Wow, that had to have been a pretty hard hit. Looks like it's all back together. So it seems like the majority say leave the foam on. All right. Seemed like the majority said leave the foam on. I'm going to put a zip tie back here to keep this together. That's pretty bad that that ripped out like that. Is the zip tie really going to keep that together though? Yes, it will. I'll go this way with it. Oh, take it off at the spot. I get what you're saying now. All right. So I guess what I got to do is I got to check one of these batteries here. So 6S. 4S. We're going to go 4S. Not 6S yet. This thing, once I can handle 4S, then I'll switch over to 6. Once I got 4S straight, because 4S is just safer. Channel 1, start, 10 amps. So hopefully it's not going to take long. So I do not recommend doing charging batteries in the house. Don't have batteries all over the place hidden. Don't do any of this. That's bad. Very bad idea. This is Chernobyl waiting to happen right here. And especially when you got these void packs. It's 2 years ago. Puffed 225. This was like a balloon. So yeah, just always, if you're going to do it, maintain it, put things in a safe location, make sure that you have like a fast escape, or just do charging outside where, you know, you'll be safe. So I think I'm going to leave, these little arrow guards in place for now. These eventually are just going to rip off. You can see how it's got air brakes right now. So I should probably tame the air brakes down. There we go. Much better. GPS is in it. Ready to go. I think it's ready. We're going to give it a shot. I am going to give it a shot. So I am going to take it out. It's probably it probably isn't really a very good idea to take it out on a wet day. I got nothing else to do. I don't feel like fixing my X-Max. Just because Earl fixed his X-Max in seconds doesn't mean that I want to do that. The X-Max brings me nothing but sadness. Piles of money into that damn truck and it's a piece of garbage, man. Chernobyl. Yep. Why is guy glowing? Because I'm happy. Right. Robert Shaw, what's going on, guy? Scott Quick, I appreciate that, man. That's right. RC baby steps. Yeah, kind of, sort of. 50 mile per hour. Yeah, dude, this thing does 50 mile per hour cartwheels. Yep. And it survives, which is great. This thing has seen so much abuse. It really has. We've broken a front arm, a front shock, I think on opposite sides too. So this thing has broken a front arm, a front shock. I think my tires are actually still good. If I remember right, there's nothing wrong with my tires and wheels. Those are fine. We swapped out or replaced, I think, one axle. I don't think we've done any other axles on this thing. It's only running these tires and wheels right now because of what I'm doing. I'm taking, the Vortex speed parts off of it, which is just the tires and wheels. It does have a 6S ESC in there, SPEKTRUM ESC. It's got the factory stock 3200 kV motor with an upgraded ceramic bearing on the pinion side. And that is only because the bearing blew out and I was able to save the motor by digging out that pinion bearing. It is very overgeared. And I think that's what the struggle was yesterday, was the fact that because it was so overgeared, the KV and the size of the motor didn't have the grunt, plus the battery power was low, didn't have the grunt to get it any faster than 64, which right now, I believe under its current configuration, it's mid 70s. Could be high 70s. We'll see. I don't think I'm going to get that speed. I probably will have to change a location. I might try it. Well, it's not going to be I might try it. I'm definitely going to try it at the jump spot. Just probably not today. It's a little bit too hazardous. I won't have any control over the RC like I feel I need. In the front of my house, it's a little bit different. I can kind of hear a little bit better. That jump spot's just different. There's like a highway nearby or something. And cars just going in and out. At least on my road, there's less action, So I'm going to go out to, in front of my house. Who knows? Maybe I'll go to the jump spot. I don't know, man. Nah, I gotta stop. Listen, see? That's the way it goes, man. I peer pressure myself. I don't need anybody to peer pressure me. I peer pressure myself. Come on, guy. Just go out there. What do you got to lose? The whole Senton. So, I think we're good, man. So, I'm going to let this battery charge. I'm going to jump just... the other thing, too. I'm going to give the controller new batteries. Did you notice what I had to do that last time? That last time, if you noticed, I was doing this to try to get signal. Now, I was taking that car really not any further than I had prior. And I was losing signal. So that tells me that the batteries in that remote need to be swapped out just to give it a little bit more reach or distance. We got Randy Thompson, drill another hole in the front body post. Wait a minute. Drill another hole in the front body post to lower them. Gary Mitchell. I wasn't gonna say, but because you said the exact number, yeah. What I did is I opened up the Vendetta box and I ripped out the 26 tooth pinion to throw in there. It's possibly too much. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna find out. The motor heats up pretty dang quick, but I think it was because it was under strain yesterday. When that front end was jamming down onto the or into the wheel wells, the tires were getting pushed up into the wheel wells. No free rides. What's going on, guy? I use a battery pack. Right, in these ones though? How do you use a battery pack in these ones? What do you mean, battery pack? Did you like wire it up with like a connector and stuff? Because I've pulled these apart and well, I pulled apart the Granite one because obviously the Granite one was broken. I'll be chasing your 68 record soon. Nice. Oh no, you talking to me? I'm no 68. I'm 67. Somebody else must be 68 in here. Yeah. I'm just trying to go up in the chat. I think that's it. Right. RC, trial and error. Absolutely. Yep. Try a lower KV mode. Yeah, I know. I was gonna see if the motor out of the Kraton that I've got fits, which is a 2050 kV. I did think about that. That crossed my mind, but and I know it would give it the more torque. But what I want to do is I want to see what's going to happen right now. What will happen now, just the way it's set up? 4S. We're at a single time 67 miles per hour in front of my house, which wasn't ideal because I did crash, but I didn't whip. You know what I mean? Like, some people are saying if it gets whipped, the GPS, but GPS works on motion, not necessarily the whip motion. So if I crashed, I don't count the speed. Very consistent on, or I feel consistently, I think I got 366s. It was either 366s or 266s. So 66 is a definite speed. I did get a 1 speed at 67. So obviously I'm trying to blow by my favorite number. I'll get my favorite number today, though. I already know. I know it will. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that because the roads are wet. Alexa, what's the weather right now?
The current weather is 70 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today, we can look for thunderstorms with a high of 73 degrees and a low of 58 degrees.
So,
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday to you.
Same to you.
So,
if we both get really quiet, we can almost hear the weekend coming.
What? I don't know. Where was I in thought? The only reason why I might not be able to, because of the roads being wet. Because they ain't going to dry today. Not with thunderstorms coming. Yeah. I should end this live. I ain't got nothing else to talk about. I'm just wasting your guys' time. Trying to get out of work so you can bet. Nice, man. Good idea. Don't forget, every once in a while, if you drive, which majority of people that I think that are on this channel drive, do yourself a favor and do a nice little burnout. If your car can't really do a burnout, most cars can nowadays, man. Turn that traction control off. Even if it's four-wheel drive, you could still get a squeak of something. Full-wheel drive and the all-wheel drive cars, they suck. Well, I almost said a different word. They stink. Because you just miss out. You're missing out. You know, like my wife right now, she's missing out. She's got an all-wheel drive CRV, and it's great. It's safe. But you don't always need safe. Safe isn't always the way to go. I mean, it is if you want to prolong your life, but you're missing out, man. Do a burnout. Front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. Do a burnout and post it on your channel, man. Nothing wrong with that. It's not bad. It's not bad. Just be careful. Do it in your own driveway if you can. That way you're safe. I'm not promoting in case YouTube flips out. Guy is trying to promote reckless driving. That's not what I'm trying to promote. I'm trying to promote the smile. Because that's what's going to keep, this is going to keep you happy. Those taillights are eventually just going to rip right off. All right, so this is RC Guy Garage. What time are we looking at? Wow, we're looking at 1:43 already. RC Guy Garage here. And this was Speed Senton, What's Going Wrong live. There was a whole bunch of things going wrong. I may have been thinking it in my mind, but I wasn't necessarily saying it on the video. I did say it at the very end because it was that realization or real discovery. That's right, it actually is. When I'm in a straight line and I started realizing, oh yeah, that's right. It's compressing. It's compressing too much. It's ramming the front of the body down into the tires. The faster you go, the more downforce there was. So yeah. So if you enjoyed this episode or if you enjoy these lives, you know what to do. It helps the algorithm. It helps the channel. Thank you guys for the donations that you give to the channel. Definitely appreciate that. Don't forget, there is a merch store. If you want to get yourself a couple of these shirts. RC Guy Garage. It says RC Guy Garage on the back. Couple stickers. Still got some coasters left over. Keychains. Oh, whatever. Or just don't. Just give me a thumbs up on the channel. I don't care. All right. I'm out. Battery's about half charged. I'm going to go have some myself something to eat. We will see you guys on the next one. I always want to say, we'll see you tonight on a Shop Talking Wrench. But every time I say that, I'm like, too wiped out. You never know, man. That's why you got to subscribe. Oh, yeah, by the way, if you're not subscribed to the channel, or if you are, please feel free to go ahead and do that. But check your notifications, because one of the Google's getting really good with the analytics now. So what it's starting to do is show how many people, they'll tell you how many people subscribed. It'll also show you how many people don't have their notifications set to on. Now, if you think it's a pain in the neck, the notifications are for each channel. So for each channel, like if you go onto, my channel, Earl's channel, or whoever else's channel you watch, Chef, Sergeant J, whatever, if you go onto their channels, did I say Earl? I don't even know. I forget. My mind is so scatterbrained right now. There is a notification thing, and you set that to all. If it does become annoying, just ignore it. Just leave it on. That way, at least when you get a notification, you'll know that a video dropped. And it does help Google, because what it's saying is it's just on the sidelines, letting, Google's algorithm know electronically that the channel is worth watching to be able to be notified. So I think that's something that a lot of people miss. It is something that you have to go over to the little bell thing. So after you, hit that thumbs up, of course, we want all of these. But when you hit that thumbs up, just slide that on over. I know it's an extra step, and I know it's real hard to do. You ain't got time for that. Just slide over to that little bell and bing, click that thing to all. And that it doesn't mean it's for all channels. It just means for my channel that you happen to be on. Click that, and at least it hopefully will notify you. What's crazy is that a lot of you people, I think, well, I shouldn't even say this, because I don't know for sure, but I know for sure on a couple of people that are subscribed to my channel, because they've told me that they do have the notifications set to on, and they're still not being notified. So I don't know what the deal with that is. Even that, foolish cut and trim video I did, I went onto the Facebook group, and I was like, show your support, even if you just pop in for a second and just say, hey, I saw the thing. Nobody showed up. I was just like, nice, what a dumpster fire that was. So I don't know, man. I'm out. See you guys.